When Wajid Ali Shah reached Calcutta on 13th May 1856, little did he know that his sojourn in the city would continue for long 31 years. Yes, the rest of his life. By the time he reached Calcutta, he was burnt out. Wajid Ali settled on the southeastern bank of the Hooghly, opposite botanical gardens on the western bank, in a place locally called Metiyaburj, meaning the earthen dome. His plea for justice before the Governor-General in Calcutta was disappointingly predictable. He was left with no other option but to appeal directly before Queen Victoria in England. But his health did not permit him to travel. Finally, a mission headed to London led by his mother, his brother and his son, the heir apparent. Meanwhile, the Sepoy Mutiny broke out in India, and the news of revolt reached the English shores. Wajid Ali Shah was arrested in Calcutta and detained in Fort William. The unexpected news of Wajid Ali's arrest bewildered the emissaries, and soon the Oudh mission melted into obscurity. The revolt in Lucknow was headed by one of Wajid Ali Shah's begums, Hazrat Mahal. She declared war on the East India Company on behalf of her minor son, Bijis Qadir. Bijis was enthroned as the Nawab of Awadh by the last Mughal emperor, Bahadur Shah Zafar. Wajid Ali Shah was doomed as a prisoner for 25 long months in Fort William. His misery during the incarceration abetted his literary evolution. He penned his autobiography, Masnavi Huzn-e-Akhtari, literally meaning Sorrows of Akhtar. On 9th July 1859, the ex-king came out of his incarceration after the last embers of the mutiny were extinguished. Wajid Ali Shah had a peaceful settlement with Lord Canning. He was accorded a personal right to retain his title of king as long as he would live, and a monthly pension of 1 lakh rupees. The banished king had to fight a lonely battle to survive. He had a long way to go. 19th century colonial Bengal witnessed a grand era of British Orientalism in the backdrop of European ideas and the Oriental education movement. The city boasted a Europeanized intelligentsia that was well conversant with the Western culture. Yet it was basically a Hindu-dominant awakening. Muslim traditional ethos and sensitivities did not touch the hearts of Bengali elites. Rather, the Muslims preferred to stand outside. Wajid Ali Shah, the proponent of traditional Orientalism and ethos, suddenly found himself outside the orbit of the Bengali clique. Step by step, Wajid Ali started to build a city that would one day be an extension of Nawabi Lucknow. The king spent lavishly out of his income and continued to live in an extravagant manner. A beautiful township sprawled in Metiyaburj that has often been described as Chota Lucknow.
Before he reached Calcutta, he had that small group of people to find a place for the resting place. And that resting place was in Bengali Bazaar. That Bichari Ghat and Iron Gate Road is very close to each other. In wartime, that is Second World War, that place was demolished and sold to a company known as Sviani Tea Company. Sviani Tea Company. He has himself mentioned that was Raja Bardwan ki koti 5 sai ki kiraye par hai li. Raja Bardwan ki koti 5 sai ki kiraye par hai li. 5 sai ki kiraye par hai li. 5 sai means 500 rupees a month. And after that, the whole place was developed in a different way. Waterway was extended and made in different form. That pond is still there with the marble floor, marble steps, that you can see. Wajid Shah was very fond of animals. He had given them fancy names. You see, he has said that मैं जहाँ जाऊँगा मेरे साथ दरिया जाएगा. In Lucknow he had that Gomti, and now in Calcutta he had that Hooghly. So he has remembered it in the form that मैं जहाँ जाऊँगा मेरे साथ दरिया जाएगा. He was fond of different types of buildings. When you see this route number 12 bus taking a turn inside along the river, from that quarter, which is known as Zarkoti, he had it built up to the Garden Reach workshop. My grandmother, Mehta Begum, my grandmother Mehta Begum, that is the wife of British Khadar. At that time she was known as Mukhtar-un-Nisa Begum. My grandmother's original name is Mukhtar-un-Nisa Begum. But this Mehta Begum name given by British Khadar. That is the custom in the family. कि बहू को खिताब दिया जाता है. तो अब तक बहू Mehta वाला.
King's memories of Lucknow were fading fast. The Hooghly had entwined his heart with deep and enduring bonds, and the flow of its water resembled the flow of the king's life. Calcutta was new to him, so was the culture of Bengal. The verve and flavor of Metiyaburj reverberated Lucknow. People here spoke the same language, recited the same style of poetry, had the same conversation, enjoyed the same wit, witnessed the same cockfight, and relished the same opium.
हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले, हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले, बहुत निकले मेरे अरमान,
दिले नादां तुझे हुआ क्या है,
बहुत निकले मेरे अरमान,
दिले नादां तुझे हुआ क्या है, आखिर इस दर्द की दवा क्या है, आखिर इस दर्द की दवा क्या है। हम हैं मुश्ताक और वो बेजार, या इलाही ये माजरा क्या है।
The Tazia of Muharram was never so enchanting. The king nurtured layers and layers of dreams in his heart. The English had usurped his taz but could not throttle his mellifluous voice. A milieu of Nawabi culture, hitherto unknown to Bengal, soon engulfed the riverside of Hooghly. Calcutta witnessed a plethora of dance dramas, thumris, and a ripple of pure Oriental symphonies. After the fall of Lucknow, a stream of classical dance gharana began to pour forth in Bengal. Wajid Ali Shah, being the greatest proponent of Kathak dance and an accomplished dancer himself, brought with him the art and culture of Kathak to Calcutta. The king nurtured the art of Kathak and Thumri amidst his dancers and singers. Many of them were adored as his Muta Begums, meaning temporary wives. Wajid Ali Shah did not allow religious orthodoxy to come in his way. Lord Krishna became his role model. The king composed the choreography of 36 group dances, which he called Rahas, and performed many of his compositions in Metiyaburj. The most popular was Radha Kanhaiya Ka Kissa. Whilst in Calcutta, Wajid Ali penned a book titled Musammi Babani, which is a treasure trove of Kathak. Wajid Ali Shah's most popular thumris are those that are the saddest yet sweetest of parting songs. court of Metiyaburj nurtured an assembly of adept musicians who had migrated from Lucknow. The king himself was a sitarist and had learned to play the sitar at the age of 19. The modern form of sarod, as what we see today, came into being in Metiyaburj. The changes were brought by Ustad Niamatullah Khan during his stay in Metiyaburj. Musicologists also believe that Esraj was developed in the court of Metiyaburj from Sarangi. Wajid Ali Shah himself was a poet, a lyricist and a literary genius. He started to write poetry at the age of 18 and blossomed into a proficient composer in Urdu and Persian. Wajid Ali Shah authored 46 books, mostly written during his stay in Metiyaburj. He patronized a court of 7 poets in his Metiyaburj and called them Saba Sayara, or 7 stars. The king experimented with calligraphy and often embellished the crossouts and layouts in his manuscripts with artistic leitmotifs. It is said that the taste of biryani was brought to Calcutta by Wajid Ali Shah. Wajid Ali Shah took great interest in zoological pursuits and in maintaining a large collection of exotic and rare animals. Charles Darwin personally took keen interest in the king's collection of rare animals through his friend Edward Blyth in Calcutta. It was a brilliant dawn on the bank of River Hooghly, and subtle rays of the rising sun emblazoned the minarets of the Shahi Imambara. Yet there was something eerie, something dissonantly quiet. The Nawab did not sound the time. The last crown of Burhan-ul-Mulk Sadat Ali Khan's dynasty of Awadh had breathed his last in the fringes of Calcutta the night before. There was nothing in his wretched death that could even remotely illustrate the past grandeur of the king. It was indeed an ordinary death for a king. Yet, Wednesday, 21st September 1887 was a defining moment in the imperial history of India and the birth of a cultural legacy in Bengal which prevails even to this day.